this be one of the best moments of your life. You're listening to the Business Mirror podcast for a broader look on business with Senior Editor Dennis Estopase.
Good day. Welcome to Business Mondays with BM, a segment of the Business Mirror BM Broader Look podcast that tackles the performance of the Philippine stock market. The Business Mondays with BM podcast is based on the stock market outlook story written by Business Mirror reporter VG Kabuag and comes out every Monday. Today we podcast week 14 of the stock market outlook for March 29 to March 31, 2021. For the text version online, please go to the Business Mirror website and search for Stock Market Outlook. For the print edition, please go to the company section of the Business Mirror newspaper. Let's get on with the story. Share prices rose last week as investors took advantage to buy cheap stocks after a huge sell-off in the previous trading session. The benchmark Philippine Stock Exchange Index gained 108.53 points to close at 6,544.63 points. The main index was down during the first and last trading days of the week, but made significant gains during midweek. Overall, however, trading remained subdued as the rising coronavirus cases still dampened investor confidence on the recovery of the economy. The average trading for the week was at 6.54 billion pesos. Foreign investors were still net sellers at 2.55 billion pesos. Foreign investors composed only 29% of the trades during the week. All other sub-indices managed to close on the green, led by the broader All Shares Index, which rose 58.38 to close at 3,967.79. The Financials Index was up 3.06 to 1,401.64. The Industrial Index gained 69.99 to close at 8,590.72. The Holding Firms Index added 76.47 to 6,605.40. The Property Index climbed 92.63 to close at 3,276.96. The Services Index was higher at 34.37 to 1,435.98. And the Mining and Oil Index increased 122.79 to close at 8,633.94. This week, gainers slightly led losers 115 to 113 and 22 shares were unchanged. The top gainers were Basic Energy Corporation, Oriental Petroleum and Minerals Corporation B, Benguet Corporation B, Nihao Mineral Resources International Incorporated, Waterfront Philippines Incorporated, and Omico Corporation. The top losers, on the other hand, were PTFC Redevelopment Corporation, Grand Plaza Hotel Corporation, Boulevard Holdings Incorporated, Prime Media Holdings Incorporated, Chelsea Logistics and Infrastructure Holdings Corporation, and To Go Group Incorporated. Share prices may decline this week as the rising number of COVID-19 cases and the return to the strictest lockdown measures for the duration of the Holy Week may continue to dampen investor confidence on the ability of the Philippine economy to recover from its dismal performance last year. The Department of Health recorded an additional 9,475 COVID-19 cases, the third day in a row that the country has surpassed 9,000 new daily cases. As of 4 p.m. of March 28, the Health Department said that the total number of cases in the country stood at 721,892. With the rising number of cases every day, the government tightened the quarantine restrictions of the travel bubble in the National Capital Region or NCR and its surrounding provinces, enforcing a full-scale lockdown starting today, March 29, until April 4, Easter Sunday. The enhanced community quarantine will cover the so-called NCR Plus area, which includes Metro Manila, Bulacan, Rizal, Cavite, and Laguna. In an online news briefing, presidential spokesman Harry Roque said President Duterte approved the recommendation of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases to reimpose an enhanced community quarantine on NCR Plus to slow down the infection rate. Roque said the declaration will also give time for the government to open more quarantine and isolation facilities and allow medical workers to rest. To note, the government also placed the entire country under enhanced community quarantine in March last year during the onset of the COVID-19 crisis. Roque said the government intentionally scheduled the current lockdown measure during the Holy Week break to minimize its economic impact, since most businesses do not operate during this period. Most business establishments would be closed during the lockdown. Crucial industries, however, would be allowed to operate on a 50% capacity. Only essential workers are allowed to go out, while public transportation will operate on a limited scale. Hence, Roque said, employers may have to provide shuttles to transport their respective employees. Roque said the government will provide financial assistance to displaced workers. The spokesman said the government is determining where to source the funds, the amount, and the mode of distribution for this financial assistance. In its Asia-Pacific daily briefing last March 25, Moody's Analytics said that the limited availability of vaccines put the Philippines at continued risk of further outbreaks in the near term. Recent reports indicate that the archipelago has so far only received enough vaccines for 1% of the population, with current estimates indicating that the population won't be fully vaccinated until 2023, economist Katrina L. wrote. The recent spike in local infections means that the economic recovery could easily be further stalled at least through the first half of the year, L said in the Moody's Analytics briefing paper. Jafet Luis Tanchanco, senior research analyst at Philstocks Financials Incorporated, said the rising pace in the increase of cases, the uncertainties on vaccine procurement, and the possibilities of the implementation of more stringent restrictions are clouding economic and corporate outlook. Tanchanco said, chart-wise, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index rallied last week, but failed to get back above the 6,600 level. Also, the index failed to secure a position above its 10-day exponential moving average, which closed the week at 6,555.94. With this, the local market is seen to trade with a support at 6,100 and an immediate resistance at its 10-day exponential moving average, Tanchanco said. It will be a 3-day trading week with the public holidays on April 1 and April 2, Monday, Thursday, and Good Friday respectively. Meanwhile, broker 2Trade Asia said first quarter results may start to trickle in starting April as investors' eyes will hunt for an inflection point after a forgettable 2020 in terms of earnings from many companies. Broker 2Trade Asia said that while they expect better results in the first quarter, the ongoing bubble in NCR Plus will weigh down on capex ambitions and prolong the recovery curve. Broker 2Trade Asia added that turnover count will be hard to predict this week due to the Lenten week and due to the expected window dressing of companies for their respective end-of-quarter portfolio. For the stock picks, broker Regina Capital and Development Corporation advised to take profits on the stock of Semirara Mining and Power Corporation after the strong one-day uptick in prices reversed the indicator's bearishness. The strong one-day gain in prices also pushed Semirara Mining and Power Corporation above its key short-term and long-term moving averages and to its highest level since January, Regina Capital said. Regina Capital added that investors may secure their profits following the strong one-day gain. As a result, some pullback is likely until it settles to support Regina Capital said. The shares of Semirara Mining and Power Corporation closed last Friday at 13 pesos and 30 centavos apiece. Regina Capital, meanwhile, advised to trade the range on the stock of Megaworld Corporation as its share price continues to trade between 3 pesos and 35 centavos and 3 pesos and 53 centavos, a range it has established since mid-March. The indicators are currently mixed, the broker said. Regina Capital further explained that the lack of uniformity in signals suggests that Megaworld Corporation will continue trading sideways. The sideways trajectory of Megaworld Corporation began appearing after a general downtrend that occurred in early February, according to Regina Capital. Meanwhile, the stock reached its year-to-date low of 3 pesos and 30 centavos earlier last week, the broker said. The shares of Megaworld Corporation closed last week at 3 pesos and 56 centavos apiece. And now for the weekly weather outlook via the website of the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAGASA. PAGASA issued the weather outlook for the week at 12 noon of March 26, valid until 12 noon of April 2, 2021. Beginning today, March 29 until Friday, April 2, Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience generally warm and fair weather conditions aside from isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to the prevailing easterlies. The cities of Baguio, Cagayan de Oro, Clark in Angeles, Iloilo, Bacolod, Lawag, Lipa, Metro Cebu, Puerto Princesa, SBMA in Olongapo, Tacloban, Tagaytay, Tuguegarao, and Zamboanga would experience partly cloudy skies at times cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms on March 30, March 31, and April 1. Metro Davao, to note, would experience cloudy skies with rain showers and thunderstorms on March 30, March 31, and April 1. The temperature in Metro Manila on these days is expected to hit a high of 34 degrees Celsius and a low of 24 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mirror podcast. For a broader look on business, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Business Mirror. Until next time.